Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Motions Biz again. And I prepared a short video to answer a question which I think is very relevant, especially those who are new to Navy Federal and were looking at getting approved for high credit limits. And the question goes like this.
Does how much you have in your checking, savings, other accounts have to do with how much you get approved for? In your case, how much did you have in your account when you got approved for 25K? So that was the question. And thank you for that question.
So I actually prepared a short video to answer the question, but I just felt that I think it warrants a very clear, explanation. And the only way I can do that is to actually show you how my own account was when I was approved for the first time for the $25,000 cash rewards credit card. And I checked my old video, and many of you, my new subscribers, may not have seen that video. So I will actually include, or I will place the link below on that video, because that was my first video ever for Navy Federal. And that was because I was approved for the cash rewards credit card. So in that video, as you can see, it was very, I was new to making videos, and the only way I knew how at that time was to actually just do a slide. So that was how I did it. So as I went along, I learned a lot more, and that's why finally I am able to do this talking heads video. But check that video. That was my first ever, and I used the late night hack for that. And I think it's very relevant that I can also discuss some of the details there to answer this member's specific question. Okay? Now, this person is asking whether how much you have in your accounts, or how much money you have in your checking or savings, or any other, I would say, money market or other investment accounts with Navy Federal affect your chances of being approved for 25,000. So since this person is asking about my experience personally, is that when I got approved for the 25K for the first time, that was a cash rewards card, I did not have a lot on my Navy Federal account, because like I was saying, Navy Federal is not my main account. And when I started on my journey, Navy Federal was actually a new account for me, and I only started with very little amounts. I did a direct deposit, a bit of amount, just to show that direct deposit, because it was part of trying to find out, if indeed Navy Federal would be, very generous, and in fact, you can get those high credit limits with a minimum. But I would say that my credit profile, and you can check out my video about my first ever approval for the cash rewards credit card, because as I have outlined my data points there on what it was in my account when I first started with Navy Federal. So you can check that out. Let me just go ahead and show you my data points when I got approved for the 25K, okay? Because that was my first video ever, and I don't think that you have come across that video. But let me share a few data points here just to bring it back, okay? So here it is. Let me show you.
So here, let me share a snapshot of my Credit Karma report before applying. This is actually, you can see this on my very first video, my approval for the 25K cash rewards credit card. So as you can see here, my payment history was 100%. Credit utilization was at 22% at that time, a little high before. And you can also see that I do have a DROG there. This is $116 Geico thing that I've been trying to dispute, but haven't really done anything with it yet. So credit age registers at 1 year and 7 months. I had a total of only 10 accounts at that time and 4 hard inquiries. So, to share what my Navy Federal accounts looked like before I applied for the Cash Rewards credit card, here it is. So, as you can see here, I have 2 checking and 2 savings accounts. One of the checking and savings accounts is a joint account with my brother-in-law who actually sponsored me into Navy Federal. So the first share savings account was about 340. The each checking at that time was about 600, and another share savings of about 150, and an everyday checking account of about 4K. Now this everyday checking account right now has turned into a flagship. I converted it into a flagship checking account. And you will also see here that I do have the Easy Certificates account and the Save First account. It's about 380 and 370 each. So it was not really a lot when I started with these accounts. So it's really very possible to work on that. And I also have a shares pledged loan. This was my first pledged loan ever for about 250, I think. No, it was 500, and then the only remaining balance was about 200 something dollars.
And now, to answer the question whether it would affect it, I would say yes and no. Now, in my case, I did not have much on my account when I got approved for the Navy Federal credit card, the cash rewards. However, there are many members who join Navy Federal and have big investments, right off the bat, and they were approved for large amount credit limits right away. So I'd say that it just depends on the situation and how Navy Federal sees you. But even if you don't have much on your account, you can still be approved for 25K if you build your credit profile.
There are many more inspiring stories from Navy Federal members who actually got approved for 25K despite not having very much on their account, but they have built a relationship, showed activity with a decent credit score, of course, so it's not impossible.
If you do not have much in your account, but you have built a good credit profile, personal credit profile with Navy Federal, then you still have a chance, okay? So hope that this video has shown you that. So as always, Motions Biz here, and thank you so much for continuing to support this channel. Have a wonderful day.